What's up, everybody? This is Discord, aka Anfao, aka Kobe, here to tell you all about the new dungeon update and the shadow mission update and the theater mission update that came in Korea last week on June 24th, 2021. So this update is pretty big. It kind of came out of nowhere. I don't think it even hit the test servers first, and it just got pushed live right away. So we're just going to jump right into it. I'm going to tell you guys all what's up with this update, and yeah. Also, I got a new green screen. I'm sorry that this part right here is kind of iffy. I need to get better lighting, and yeah. Hopefully everything will be fixed in the future. But anyways, let's get on with it. So first off, the main thing you'll probably notice is that the dungeons have been all reduced, have their floor count reduced. So all basic, intermediate, and advanced dungeons, except for Pika Intermediate, are now one floor. And all Pika Intermediate and all other hard mode advanced dungeons are now 2 floors. So it's going to be a lot easier to run through these dungeons and less tedious, hopefully, because man, dungeons are like one of the worst content you can ever run in this game. It's just so boring. You're just going into each room, you're killing everything, you get out. It's really awful. So good change here. I would prefer if they did a little bit more than this. Like, I don't know, make the dungeons more interesting, like having their own unique mechanics and stuff. But I'll take a floor reduction if they aren't going to go that far. And they've added a new item, like a blacksmithing manual fragment, that you can get upon killing a dungeon boss. So if you have 2 of the same fragment, which is like greaves, armor, helm, or gauntlet, you can combine them into a random blacksmithing manual for a new refined armor piece. More about that refined armor piece later, because they are new armors that you can make using blacksmithing. And another update is that if there are less players than the maximum not in the party, the rewards from a single player's chest is improved. They didn't say how much, they didn't say what it actually does, but it does not mean that one player gets all 8 keys. So my understanding is that they want to come at multi-clienting and alts. So instead of getting, the current Billionaire's Bankroll event that we have in NA, where if you enter like a tech mission with only one person, you get all 4 keys without having to have bodies in there for you. Instead, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to just boost the rates of a single player's chest up. So it's like they had 8 keys, but they only have 1. That is technically worse than having all 8 keys because, you can only roll once, right, on your own chest. But if you had 8 keys, you could roll 8 times. That means you can get like up to 8 really good enchants instead of only getting a chance of getting 1 really good enchant, right? So I think overall they should have just kept the Billionaire's Bankroll event. I don't know why they didn't do that. I think it's working out pretty well in NA or global and in Taiwan and in China when they got the event. So I have this was a weird one. Let's just move on. Actually, I will say that I don't like the direction of this one. I wish it was like the Billionaire's Bankroll event. New enchants, there are some new enchants in here. Those are highlighted and bolded, but we also have some returning enchants coming in, and they are being added to some of the dungeons. So Berry Advance gets Midnight, which is a new one. Coil Intermediate gets Coma and Trader. Trader's a pretty big one because that one was Gacha exclusive, I think. Run of Advance gets Chorus instead of only Run of Advance hard mode. Pika Basic gets Trustworthy and Nocturne. Oh, Nocturne's a new enchant too. I forgot to highlight those. Pika Immediate, Spiraling, all those. The big ones are in CR, Albi, and Run Advance hard modes. So CR gets Clashing and Brainstorm. I think this is Brainstorm's first appearance outside of a gacha. I think that should be Trader. I don't know why I put down Trade, but anyways, Albi Advance hard mode gets Meteoroid and Resolution. Resolution was, I think, exclusive to the gacha too. Yeah. Meteoroid's pretty big because Meteoroid's basically impossible to find because you can only get it from tech missions right now, but it has a less drop rate than a Kraken Heart, so you'll never ever see it. Meteorite is one of the enchants that rolls 1 to 3 piercing and gives lots of max damage on a two-handed weapon. So it's good for all those upcoming mages because that means it will have a way to get 3 piercing on a weapon on their new staff without having to get 67 floor. So that's nice. I think it's a good change, good addition. And Redolvan's Harmo gets Supernova and Sonata. Supernova, I believe, is the one-handed enchant. That's the suffix. I don't remember too much about that one, but Sonata's a pretty big one because Sonata gives like 6 music buff effect on the prefix, I want to say. I don't know, but I don't do too much into Bard enchants, but I know Sonata is one of the best farmable. I think it's still farmable in game. Yeah, it's still farmable through dragon raids, like Desert Dragon and stuff like that. But it's one of the best music buff prefix bodies in the game. So having it in a more accessible area than Iria Dragon raids is very nice. So the dungeon fountains have also been updated, so they never harm you anymore. They only provide beneficial effects, and they can restore up to 1 to 3 durability to a random equipped item, and they grant EXP. If you're level 200, then random equipped items are blessed instead. These fountains are always really troll. Sometimes I would just click on them to see like my stamina drop to 0 and stuff like that. Like I expect the coming in, but it shouldn't be like it was a dumb mechanic. Glad they changed it. Glad they made it so that it restores durability and gets EXP. Very good change. Although the fountain idea was kind of weird in the first place, but I digress. Other improvements. So when a party member picks up a key, all party members in that party will be able to use that key. A key will appear in a new EOI that tells players that they have the key. So you've seen that picture that they gave us. When one person picked up the key, all players show the key over their head with a little animation. So yeah, I think that's a fantastic change in party play. I don't want to get held hostage by someone holding the key. And yeah, good change. Iron bar dungeon doors like Pika and Rundle, I think, are now easier to click on. Good change. Sometimes you would just miss clicking on the iron bar door and you're like, oh, come on, dude. Just let me get through. Field and Coil's foliage. Sorry, I can't spell it. I can't speak today, but they have been nerfed, so it's easier to see through all the trees and crap. So, good change. Tiro is the goblin guy that shows up in some dungeons. Like, I want to say he shows up in Bangor for sure, or Barry for sure. But he sells new items now. So he sells comprehensive potions, which is a big one. I think he sells some special arrows that increase your damage, and he sells high density mana bullets now. So very good change. Very making it a lot easier to get comprehensive recovery potions is great because people love chugging those down, and yeah, they're really expensive. Like because people would buy them from Fleta and then just resell them. No bueno. So having another place to get the comprehensive recovery potions is very nice. Oh, I think I duplicated that by accident. Oops. So you can now purchase basic, intermediate, and advanced passes from the Pulunebron researcher, which is the guy on the right. So no longer will we have to farm for basic, intermediate, and advanced passes. Now, the only reason why you would ever use an unrestricted pass is so that you can just skip getting the mangled passes and go straight into advanced hard mode. Very good change. Glad I don't have to farm those passes anymore. Especially if you're to farm like Soundbook or Soundbox or whatever for musical knowledge. And Barry Dungeon. Yeah. Awful. So then the Terra and Taillteann Shadow missions also got updated. The rewards got updated, so outdated items have their rates lowered. Combo cards, Lord passes, and Secret mission passes have their rates increased. Elite Baltaine mission passes, combo cards, and Alban Knight's training stones I think can now drop from all Shadow missions. And first generation gems like the Spiniel, the Star Sapphire, Emerald, etc., and regular gem powder have been added to drop from intermediate plus Shadow missions. So yeah, I like the idea. I like everything here. Combo cards getting your drop rates increased is good because combo cards are now getting more and more important. People want their good combo cards now. Having a more accessible way to get elite Taillteann mission passes is great for free to play players who don't want to farm, who don't want to buy VIP to get the passes on Friday. And additionally, finally, like the first generation gems dropping from Shadow missions now, it's good for new players because that means they can get their spirit weapons stronger at an earlier time. It's granted it's not really fast still. You're still getting first generation gems, but good change. Good change. It's not meant for like harder or like end game players to run anyways. So you can now obtain Erinn spirits from elite shadow missions. 10 of these spirits can be exchanged for a new second title coupon at each with their own rates, and all the second titles will be listed at the end of this post. Or not this post, I mean this video. Sorry, I copied this from my own post on Reddit. But these second titles are untradeable and can be shared within banks. That means they're bank tradable. So I'll talk more about this later, but most of the titles look very good. Like best in slot good. So we're going to take a look at that later. So in Rescue the Scout Taillteann Defensive Battle, Ghost of Partholon, or that's not Ghost of Partholon. Which one's the other one that? Oh no, that's right. I'm thinking of something else. Ghost of Partholon and Former Attack, enemies will spawn faster once all enemies are defeated. So in Rescue the Scout, you know how you have to kill like 5 of those guys, and you have to wait like 30 seconds or 40 seconds before the next wave spawns. Same thing with Ghost of Partholon and Former Attack. I think Ghost of Partholon happened. No. Yeah, they both happened in the center room. So Ghost of Partholon had the little circle room that you have to wait for enemies to pop up before you can bring stuff in or like drag stuff into the circle. And Former Attack had that slow spawn room in the middle too. So now they spawn faster. Great change. Very annoying, very annoying shadow missions to deal with. The minimum entry for a requirement for all shadow missions is now minimum 1 person. So if you wanted to do like conflict or provocation, as seen in this picture right there, you can now enter with 1 person without having to have any bodies to help you to get into the mission. Great change, especially for provocation. Now that people don't need to get a pro fill party going, so they can just enter, get their prof done, get their training done, and then just leave when they're ready. Great change. Taillteann Defensive Battle has had its entire mission overhauled, so now it functions similarly to the Gatekeeper Taillteann mission, where after you clear a wave, you can step on a teleporter circle to defend 3 gates from getting overwhelmed by the shadow mission or the shadow dudes. So each gate needs to have 9 waves cleared to clear the shadow mission. And obviously, it's now a lot faster and easier, so EXP and gold for this mission has been lowered. This is a fantastic change because this is the only place in the game where you can get Crested Gloves, and Crested Gloves, within like a farmable way, not like gacha or anything like that, but it's the only way to get Crested Gloves, and Crested Gloves are is like best in slot for Alchemist, and Alchemist is an end game gear, like end game talent. So having a way to get having an easier time in Taillteann Defensive Battle, it's a great change. I'm a big fan of this one. So here's a controversial kind of addition that Nexon added to combat against alts and multi-clienting. So in New Law dungeons and shadow missions, to obtain the rewards, the player must meet a certain amount of time in combat. As you can see in this UI over there, when they enter the mission, they have this little question mark on the top left of their screen, and then each party member has a little question mark too. This question mark will indicate if the player is eligible for rewards in that shadow mission or not, or dungeon or shadow mission or not. When they are, it will turn into a green check mark. But if they don't have the green check mark and they have like an X, I think, in ULOT dungeons they won't get the key, and in shadow missions they won't get the key, and they will receive half completion EXP and gold. So obviously what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so players are not de-incentivized to bring in multi-client and alts. Remember, in Korea, right now it is within the terms of service to log into 4 clients at once. It used to be 7, but they reduced it to 4 because they want less multi-clienters in the game. So they recognize that multi-clienting is a problem, and they're trying to combat against multi-clienting. But this is one of the weirder ways to do it because they are punishing players instead for multi-clienting. When in reality, what they should do is they should reward players for playing solo or for bringing like less people instead of do this weird punishing way, because this punishing method also punishes new players who want to get into the game and get carried. Sorry, but if they get carried through a dungeon, does that mean they're not eligible to get the rewards because they couldn't hit anything, right? Or they couldn't be in combat for very long. So I think this was a weird decision. Yeah. Nexon kind of missed the mark on this one, I think. Like I said, I would prefer it if they just incentivize players to not multi-clan by rewarding people that do stuff solo instead of just straight up punishing people for multi-clanning and stuff. Because, well, technically that will be the same effect in the end. One feels really good. Like, going through a mission solo and you see 4 keys in your inventory, like, wow, that feels really good. Versus one that feels really bad, which is don't go in with 4 players or else you have to bring them in combat for about 30 seconds each in a shadow mission and maybe longer in the dungeon to get the rewards. Weird change, and I don't like this one bit. I think that they are missing the mark once again. Anyways, so some other improvements. So Marlowe, the guy in Avon, now sells basic, intermediate, and advanced theater mission passes. This does not include hard mode, but this does include the first 3 tiers, which people do care about. Since he now sells basic, intermediate, and advanced theater mission passes, that means you don't really need the faded silver and faded bronze and silver pages anymore. So what you can do now is you can use 5 of them at the magical spinning wheel to convert them into the next tier. So 5 faded becomes 1 bronze, 5 bronze becomes 1 silver, 5 silver becomes 1 gold. Theater mission passes are also now color coded depending on their difficulty. I haven't seen a picture of that yet, but I'm pretty sure someone will have something that has a picture on what that looks like. This is a great change. The only reason why people want to run hard mode theater missions nowadays is either for rest or for their Grandmaster mission. So making it easier to create gold play pages and farm passes or trying to get the pass they need for their Grandmaster mission. It's a great change. I like it. I like it a lot. Some other improvements. Walls no longer block your vision in the Albernized training grounds in Albi Arena. I hate that room because that's the only reason why I hate that room. Actually, there are 2 reasons. So that room also has walls, which kind of make it so you lose Divine Link. You can't attack through the wall. It's really annoying. But fixing the vision in Albernized training grounds is a very good change. Players can now have up to 30 combo cards. I believe the previous was 20. So increasing their maximum combo card limit to 30 is very good. People love their combo cards. Love their combo cards. Combo cards are busted, absolutely busted. Players can now delete multiple combo cards all at once using the batch removal selection option. So you can check click on a button, turns on batch selection. You select a bunch of combo cards at once and you hit delete. They're all gone. Very nice change. Deleting them one at a time is very annoying. Players can now change the order of their combo cards, so sometimes you get a really good combo card, but it's at the very end of your combo card list, and you can't bring it up to the top, so you just keep scrolling down to select it. Yeah, that's a big L. So this is a good change. Players will now receive a notification when attempting to delete an activated combo card. I'm always scared. I'm always terrified of deleting my combo card by accident. So this is a great change. Um, and then finally, when feeding weapons into a spirit weapon, the player can now lock items to prevent them from being selected and being fed into the spirit weapon. This is also a great change. So I'm also terrified of forgetting just throwing some random item or fashion item into my spirit weapon and it's all gone. I will never know. Like I'll just never know it's gone. So great change there. And then finally we'll talk about the new items. So one of the new enchants is Dreamy. So it's a prefix, a rank 8 prefix that goes on the headgear and also personalizes. So it gives 7 to 15 maximum damage, 25 intelligence, 2 to 5 magic attack, and minus 20 strength. I think it's pretty good. The only annoying part is you have to have level 20 exploration, which I think that's a big L. I think that's like the only reason why people wouldn't go for this enchant, and people probably go for edgy instead on their hat. But overall, not bad. It also gives 2 to 5 magic attack, so it's good for all the mages out there. Even though 2 to 5 magic attack is really low, but it's an additional few magic attack points that comes with max damage for their firebolt. Yeah. Overall, if they made it so it's not like exploration level, it was like this level 120 or something like that, it'd be a lot better. But exploration level plus 20 plus, kind of an L. Reunion is a suffix for hats. Like it's 9 to 60 max damage, some strength, marionette max damage, a big 40, 10 dexterity and minus 20 intelligence. This one I believe is good. I do not know much about puppetry, but I believe this will be best in slot for puppetry for sure. Otherwise, I think resistance is better. Resistance gives up to 18 max, and that's farmable from Rabbi Phantasm. Sorry, but yeah, I think this one is pretty good. But again, I don't know too much about puppetry, so if any endgame puppeteers want to weigh in on Reunion, let me know in the comments down below and correct me, because that's what the YouTube comments are for. Moving on to Midnight. Midnight is a prefix on their footwear. It personalizes as well. Gives 9 to 60 max damage, some dexterity, some HP, and then minus luck. Yeah, just another foot enchant. It's pretty accessible. Albion's hard mode. Nothing really to say about it. It's just minus 20 luck. Yeah, that's pretty annoying if you're using chain. So, if you're using chain, this is an eh. And then finally, for the last enchant that they added, it's a suffix for footwear that personalizes. It gives 2 to 5 alchemy damage. It gives 10 to 14 max damage, and it gives 50 mana and minus 20 dexterity. I don't think this beats out. God, what is it? Hot foot? Let me go check my alchemy set to see, make sure. Cowboy. Yeah. I don't think this really beats out Cowboy. I think Cowboy is slightly better because it gives like 6 water and 4 fire or something like that. And that's the only things that matter, which is water and fire. So I don't think this one's too good, but it does get max damage. But you do have the roll in it. So I think it's just okay. I think it's okay if you don't have Cowboy. Moving on to the refined armor sets. So these are reskins of existing armor sets in the game, but they have special set effects and an increased variety of effects to them. So this is the refined Dustin Silver Knight set. This one gives attack delay reduction as the most important one, as you can see in the helmet. So this is a free to play way that doesn't involve Festia to get attack delay reduction. If this follows the trend of the horns, Abyss Dragon horns or whatever, this should be a 10 or 1% decrease or 10%, 0.1 second decrease of attack delayed reduction. This is actually extremely noticeable if you're using chain, The problem is that it's heavy armor only. So I think this will be very good if you are a giant or if you are doing final hit and you want to use attack delay instead of attack speed and on the body, because you have to use a helmet and you have to use the heavy armor for this. Overall, I think it's interesting. Attack delay, getting attack delay is very good. But you haven't used it on your armor. Like taking out the armor side is a big L. If it was like the helmet and like the greaves or whatever, like obviously, actually, helmet and the gloves is the best combination, but greaves is okay, right? Because yeah, you don't get fleet feet, but you can get attack delay reduction. But that's not what happened. You have to wear the armor and you have to wear the helmet to get the attack delay reduction if you roll it correctly. You can only miss your 1 point from crafting, so that's kind of spooky. But overall, this one's pretty meh. Could be better. I think they missed their mark a little bit. This is a refined Royal Knight armor set. This one is completely useless because the only thing that's going for it is the auto defense and the absorption. Nothing really to say about this one. It's better than the original Royal Knight, but it's just absorption. It's still heavy armor. So this is the Northern Lights armor set. It's light armor that increases your movement speed by a small amount, and does the mana consumption thing from the Trinity set, I think. I don't remember which set that was, but that did the mana consumption decrease thing. But it's okay. The reason why I say it's okay is because the mana consumption thing doesn't really matter. And the movement speed increase, it's like the Abyss Dragon armor. It's basically negligible. It's nothing. So if it's like that, I think this one's like pretty dumpster tier too. Yeah, the armor does look good, but kind of the ugly set effects coming from that one. Also, it has 10% magic defense, I think. Yeah. And finally, we have the Majestic Knight armor. This one's the actual good one, so pay attention, everyone. So it has 10% auto defense for melee, which is, pretty good. But it has the most busted set of enhancements you could ever see. So it has Smash Windmill and Charge enhancement on the gauntlets and boots too, which frees up your hat. This one is by far the best one, especially if you're a giant who's using Erg 50 one-handed blunts, because this is the only way you can get windmill enhancement on Erg 50 one-handed blunts that isn't from a exclusive gacha from overseas, because I think Korea has windmill enhancement on some random gacha dark knight armor. Sorry. But anyways, Smash Windmill Charge, very, very strong armor set. Yeah, this one's the one people are going to build for sure, especially for the windmill enhance. If you get a 7 windmill enhance on the armor, you are in business, my friend. So overall, I think this one is by far the best armor set. I will get it for my giant. I think it's strong. And then finally, we have the new second titles. There's a lot to go over, so I'm just going to go over very quickly with this one screen page. So we got a 28 max damage title. We have a fishing title, plus 8 music buff effect, and plus 15 duration title. 45 magic attack title with 3% bolt magic damage. A 20 max 40 magic attack title, a second title. Music buff effect and magic attack, the second title. Muriel Baltair has a super defensive second title, which is probably good for dueling. But I don't think it's the best because it's missing max damage and it's not missing the melee defense reduction from the second title from the SAO Kirito. Tanalim, I think that's what you say. I don't know. Tenelium, +3 quality second title, which is similar to Crazy Crafter. Very powerful second title. Taillteann, +5 crystal making, I guess. I guess. He tried his best. Morphe gets +18 max and +18 alchemy. I think that's worse than Professor J. Manonin gets max magic attack and alchemy. I think it's still bad. Erinn gets a 23 max. Sarah gets 25 max +1 crit damage, very strong. Incubus King gets 24 max and movement speed, who cares? Faldlight gets max damage and dual gun max damage, good for your gunner main. Deerbill, +43 magic attack and movement speed and 1% movement speed. It's okay. Taillteann gets a minimum glyph quality second title, which I think is the second time we got one of these titles. First time we got this in Gacha, but this time it's farmable. Enya has a music buff effect and max damage title. It's okay. It's only 4 music buff effect. Millowin has an 10 max damage and 8 music buff effect, similar to Starlit, I think. Starlit has about the same amount. Let me go check it, actually. Starlit is 10 max and 8 music buff effect, but it gives defensive stats and magic defense and magic protection. And it said this one gives you 2% movement speed. So this is the free-to-play version of Starlit. I think this one's better overall because you won't use the magic defense and magic prop very often. So yeah. And then Hector has Hillwind Engineering Magic Craft quality increase when you have the first titles on for Expert Engineer and Magic Artisan, and that also gives 4% production success rate. I think that's better than what we have currently because of the production success rate. And then Blanid gives a healing effect increase and can cure wounds. So yeah, since these are all free to play, I think these are good. Like this is a solid way to get second titles into the free to play more player base, because normally they can't get second titles unless they buy it from another player or get it from an event. And usually the event ones are kind of, like +20 luck. Who cares, right? But yeah, farmable second titles, great for the game. I'm a big fan of this. And out of all these, what do I think is the best one? Melwin is pretty good. Purin is good if you don't have a fishing title yet. Marlead is good if you are buffing, because but it's worse than the Kimono Friends Northern Owl, I think. Northern Owl is, I think, +9. But if you don't have that, it's pretty good. Bimnek is 28 max. I think that's best because it doesn't have the bonus damage or crit damage, so it's okay. Sarah's pretty good. I guess 25 max and 1% crit damage. I think that's the best one for damage wise from this. Hector's really good too. Blanid is good if you don't have the healing second title yet. So yeah. And that will be it for me today. So thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this little update. Hope you guys aren't pissed about this green screen yet back here. I swear I'm gonna get a new light. I swear we're gonna get a better light and then shine it on my face, and hopefully this entire fuzziness will go away. Ooh, look at that. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Make sure you guys all subscribe, because you're watching, you haven't subscribed already. That's kind of a problem. And make sure you guys check out when I stream on Twitch. I'm probably going to be streaming later on today when you're watching this, or when I upload this video. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, peace.